Okay, let's talk about The Fog, the remake of The Fog, which I have been holding off this movie's for a long time. I saw the first Fog a couple years ago for the first time, and I thought it was honestly a really good John Carpenter movie. And I want to talk about it on this channel eventually, but I hate that I'm a completionist because I had to watch the 2005 thing that came out. That thing called The Fog that came out in 2005. That was produced by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, I might add. And I looked online, and apparently John Carpenter's way of producing this film is that he went into the production, said hi to everyone, and left. and said, go home. And Deborah Hill died right when the film was starting to be being made. So that's honestly kind of shitty that they put her name on this, because she had nothing to do with it, really, at all. So, yeah, just already two negatives right there. John Carpenter didn't even want to be involved in this, and I know John Carpenter is not a fan anyways of sequels or remakes, but of his films. But man, in this one, like, he didn't even, like, literally didn't even do anything on it, so he loves getting a paycheck, which, I mean, I'm not going to deny, if I was John Carpenter, I wouldn't mind getting a paycheck for every movie that is remade of his. But, oh my god, like, the first two-thirds of this movie, I thought it was bad, but it was just really boring bad. Like, it was the same movie as the originalist in modern time, with shitty acting and with really bad CGI. That's what I thought the first two acts were. And then we get into the third act, where I kind of just lost it. I sat there like, what the fuck is going on? Like, there were so many random things. That one guy getting impaled with glass, with that stupid CG-looking glass, is terrible. Whenever Maggie Grace, her character, goes up to that ghost at the end, and she makes out with him, and she becomes a ghost, and she fades away. So she's been dead the whole time. And I just sat there like... And I know that Jamie Lee Curtis, who played that character in the original, was not dead the whole time. Like, she was alive. So, what the fuck? Where did that even come from? Like, that doesn't even... It literally, I sat there like, with my mouth open like, what is the point of that? That just made you lose so much more dignity because of the terrible CGI at the end, and just the terrible little twist like that, where I'm just like, there was no need for that. Literally no point. It makes no logical sense at all. She was alive the whole movie. And I barely even paid attention at the end. So to be fair, I might have gotten shit wrong, because I'm like, it was a drudge to get through the first two acts, and I just sat there like, fuck me. Like, getting to the third act, it was terrible. And then in the third act itself, it was really god awful. And I've heard so many people say this is one of the worst remakes ever, and at first, the first two acts, I was like, this is stupid, and just like the first movie, but shittier. But then when we got to the third act, I was like, yeah, this is definitely one of the worst remakes ever, because it was just so laughably bad. So random. All the acting in the movie is pretty much the worst. Like, it's really terrible. The only positive actress I could give, I feel like, is Selma Blair a little bit. But even she had moments where I'm like, oh man, that feels like it was made on the first take, and like they told her to say it like this, like not in a way she should have said it. So all these actors, and these actors I've seen accomplish things in other movies or shows, so they're fine actors in other things. And I don't know if it's the script or the direction, but man, they're all really terrible in this movie, and it's a shame. It's sad to see them be that bad. and it just, there's no charm to this. It's very dull and very bland. There's no actors that give off a personality or charm to them. Like, for example, the original Fog, I feel like people are half and half on it in terms of like John Carpenter's films. A lot of people love it, a lot of people don't love it, and I feel like, despite what you think about the original Fog, I thought the acting was way better, way more interesting. Those actors, I felt like, gave it their all. Like, they gave it way more than these actors, and they really suck in this movie. And like, I remember Tom Atkins in the original Fog. I remember Jamie Lee Curtis. I remember Janet Leigh. Like, all of these characters in the original one, like, are way more memorable, way more interesting. And the original Fog, a lot of people don't think is super memorable. Like I said, it's half and half, where a lot of people like it, a lot of people don't. So it's really, that's what I've heard. I've heard a lot of times people love it or don't like it. So, but man, I've never really heard anybody say that they love this one. God. And I mean, love what you love, that's fine, but fuck, this was just so difficult to get through. Like, I was just sitting there like, the first two acts were drudging and boring and just so stupid, and then the third act was amped up on crack. Like, it just randomly did all this stupid shit that, like, out of nowhere, random twists, bad acting throughout, terrible CGI. Like, ew, my god, this CGI is terrible. Oh my god. It blows me away in how awful this movie was. And like I said, the first two acts I thought were just stupid and boring. But getting to the third act, that really put the icing on the cake in metaphorically saying that this movie is awful. and it just, they gave up at the end. I was just sitting there like, oh my god, just end already. Please end, please end. And it finally did in a really stupid ending scene. But God, this movie was terrible, and I really want to go back and review the original one now. I will eventually, but I can't just have reviewed this one on my channel, because fuck that, that's so stupid that I reviewed... Well, because to be fair, I didn't see this movie before, and because I'm such a completionist, I had to watch it. Yeah, I had to watch it. So, I'll rewatch the first Fog again. And of course, I've seen it a couple times, and I want to get the Scream Factory Blu-ray that isn't part of this double feature, because this double feature has no special features at all for this or The Howling, so I need to get the regular Scream Factory of the original Fog. So I'll review the Fog eventually, but right now you can feel satisfied that I reviewed this piece of shit. So yeah, thanks for watching.